I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain.
And a jolly good, cloudy but not too cold Wednesday afternoon to you from North London. Today I'm going to go on a town walk, obviously, as opposed to my, generally speaking, more favourable country walks. I'm going to have a little wander around the north part of London. I'm going to start today in the vibrant suburb of Kilburn, outside Kilburn High Road station, where I just arrived a couple of moments ago. And I'm going to take, it's about a 5-kilometre walk, so it's about 3 miles. And it says it's going to take 2 hours, so I'm assuming from that there's going to be plenty of places to just deviate slightly off the route and have a little look around. So if you want to join me on this little walk around North London, let's go and have a see what we can see today. It is a very vibrant, multicultural and fun part of North London, and I'm sure we'll find some hidden gems along the way. Come join me in Kilburn. This is a very, very busy part of London here. Just going to head all the usual sorts of establishments: Costa Coffee, Craig's Boots, Primark about to open, M&S food store, you name it, it's here. There is a market that's open, I think every day apart from Sunday, and not entirely sure where that is, but we're going to take a walk along Kilburn High Road now, and first green space area to have a look at is going to be the old Paddington Cemetery, or Paddington Old Cemetery I think it's actually referred to. So let's have a little look for that. Always so busy these streets, and there's so many little businesses, and in particular things like kebab shops, chicken and chip shops. You do wonder how they manage to all make a living out of it, to be fair, but they must do, otherwise they wouldn't be here. Yesterday I was walking in the serenity of mid-Hertfordshire, and this is a world away from that, albeit probably no more than about 30 miles away, if that, from where I was walking yesterday. That was the AOT St Lawrence video that should be available to view now. If you prefer something a little bit quieter, just come up towards the market now. Just ahead of me, I can see it, and we'll have a little brief look around there. And there we have it, yeah, Kilburn Market, Monday to Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So don't come on a Sunday if you want the market. Loads of these sorts of markets around London. Not really for tourists as such, but you might pick up a bargain or two if you have a good look around. And this is mostly closed, I think, and fruit and veg. I always feel when I come into these little markets, they were in completely the wrong end of London. It always just feels like you're going to get some characters from EastEnders pop out in front of you, as that's the type of market that they portray there on that programme. Not a lot doing in there today. There's a cafe, didn't seem to really be doing much of a trade, and a few stores selling everything from ladies' wigs to carpets. So, right, that's that done. I'm going to continue up here till I get to Willesden Road or something along those lines. I'll know it when I see it, and head on down towards this cemetery. For those of you that just like looking at normal street life of London, these are the sort of areas to come to. You can go to all the tourist hotspots, the sanitised places, no problem. But if you want to see something that's a little bit grittier, a little bit more real, let's say, then get out to these suburbs. Kilburn being one of them, Kentish Town, Cricklewood, areas like that. Usually something interesting happening. Yeah, it's not like your local supermarket. These parts of London are great actually, because if you like eating different foods from around the world and pick up some recipes and want to get hold of some stuff, herbs and spices and what have you, then these are the places to come, not your international aisle at your supermarket, because they're overpriced for a start off, and small quantities. If you want to buy large quantities of different herbs and spices and unusual vegetables and fruits and so on, come to these places. Places like that over the road there. They usually, and a lot of these places as well, make up curry pastes and that sort of stuff. So if you're into all of that, then really these are the places to come. Waitrose will make it look nice in a packet, but it'll also cost you a packet, so let's bear that one in mind. Classy chicks.
No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders.
Another thing you'll notice about the outer boroughs of London is like they're like little towns in their own right, and pretty much everything will be in that area. If you didn't need to, you wouldn't have to, or if you didn't want to, you wouldn't have to really leave that area, except for certain stuff, I guess. But on the whole, pretty much all of these high streets and areas have everything anyone could ever want. But they're busy, very busy, and quite loud. And as I say, I was out in the depths of rural Hertfordshire yesterday, and it couldn't be more different from this. It's great. I love it. I love places like this. And as I've said before in other videos, if I could just somehow stream the smells to you, there's some pretty good ones. Pretty good ones wafting around right now. Not quite sure where from. Yeah, it's Willesden Lane. Excuse me, Willesden Lane. So we've come up Kilburn High Road from Kilburn High Road station and taking the left onto Willesden Lane. Again, some of these parts of North London can be a little bit gritty at times. You wouldn't need your wits about you, especially at night, but on the whole they're pretty safe. If you want to find trouble anywhere in the world, it's easy to do, and equally it's quite easy to avoid it. Already a bit quieter now, we've got off the main road there. By London standards anyway. Some new building going up, nice to see they're using the traditional London brick, the yellowy bricks. Got more of the same really down here, just not as busy. Your prime locations back up there on the high street. The interesting Streetley or Stretley Road Pocket Park. I've just had a quick look on the map, and that just looks to be like a very tiny little park. I was going to go up and have a look. I was just curious by the name of it, Pocket Park. Not a term I've particularly come across before. I think that's just probably another word for saying small little park. Certainly looks like a little park on the map anyway.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build it on my thoughts in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never
Wow,
really asked
there's
you
somebody
what to
cooking up a
do.
curry
You wanna
round
love
here.
me? Well then baby, have a taste.
Wow, that's a nice smell. Don't know if it's this South Indian restaurant here that it's coming from. Oh, I think it is. Anyway, so what we're saying here, Tesco Express at Torbay Road. What do you reckon that was before? I reckon that must have, it's got a bit of cinema surely, before they turned it into a Tesco and some flats. Just kept the front part of it, who knows? Anyone like to hazard a guess or tell me? My money's going on cinema or little theatre or something like that. It's something you don't see that much in London anymore. Telephone boxes. There are a few knocking about. In fact, I found a red one that appeared to be working yesterday out in the depths of Hertfordshire. That looks like it's in reasonably good nick, although someone's left their pillow and blanket in there. Used to have queues at phone boxes. You'll be clicking your heels outside saying, when's this guy going to get off the phone? 2p's and 10p's. Still on Willesden Lane. I think we're coming up to our first turn-off point. Green space. It's up here on the left. And yep, here's our first green space to have a little look around. And it's Willesden Old Cemetery. And located here, as you'll see, Commonwealth War graves, amongst other things. There's tons of information about this cemetery, including the number of the well-known people that are laid to rest here. Cuthbert Ottaway, the Tichborne claimant, Laura Thistlethwaite, and then there's the section of course, the war graves and memorials. Always worth having a little look at that before you start to walk around. Some very well kept graves, and the whole graveyard actually is, the whole cemetery is very well kept, and some very interesting looking mausoleums as well in here. Just going to take a walk down to that building down at the bottom, just have a little look, see what's there. Some of these are quite impressive indeed.
What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, here, I should celebrate. Think I can change my mind, maybe elevate.
Such a stone's throw from Kilburn High Road, which is obviously a super busy place. Never find it too difficult to get away from, or to find some peace and quiet in London, relatively speaking, of course. I literally was out in the wilds yesterday, as I've said a couple of times already, and you can't really replicate that in the middle of a city, but relatively speaking you can find some fairly quiet places.
think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many different.
When you're in Paddington and this part of London, you are going to attract a certain amount of aircraft noise. That appears to be an A380 belonging to British Airways. I feel almost embarrassed to say I can see that from here. There you go. This building here is interesting. It's all there's chapels, and they're under repair, which is why it's all sealed off. Yeah, that seems to be taking longer than it perhaps ought to be doing, according to that sign. It is a very, very big cemetery, actually. Come around here, it carries on quite a long way. Right the way over there. So the entrance I just came in there was probably what you would call the older section. Further down there I can see some of the graves, and that are of much more modern design. They look newer. It's quite a well laid out place though. Right, I'm going to head back to the train going just over there. Just going to head back towards the exit that I came in from and see what's next on the itinerary. One thing that struck me about, there are some seats. There's one just over there, and I've seen one or two others, but it is a bit sparse, I would say. A few more seats probably would be in order in here. Maybe there were, and they've just gradually rotted away over the years. Okay, so continue by going out the same gates that came in. Just ahead there, take a left-hand turn, and we're going to head off towards Queen's Park. Another of London's parks. It's one I've never been to before, or at least I can't remember going there before. Always worth looking up in London, because a lot of the buildings at ground level are quite often been modernised, made to look appealing in terms of shops or cafes, that kind of thing. A lot of the buildings are still the old ones, like that one there in the middle, the red brick with 1896 on it, presumably when it was built. But quite often when you look up high to the top of these buildings, there's some quite interesting architecture that I'm sure some people just walk past, have lived here forever and have never looked up and seen it. And you just look up there. And up there. It's just one tiny little corner of North London. A lot of history in these roofs. Just going to take a little shortcut through this way. Rather than up there and then turn left, you just can cut through here. So into quiet. Winchester Avenue, I think. Fairly quiet residential area now in the main. Do quite like walking around cities. I prefer the countryside, but you have to be a bit more organised with regards to starting and finishing points, getting to and from and so on, whereas in particularly somewhere like London, but any of the big cities, if you go on any city walks around there, you can usually bail out halfway through if you've had enough, or you can always carry on and do some more if you haven't. And access to public transport obviously in the cities is a lot better, so it's a different kind of walk. And I hope you're enjoying some of the others I do, the more countrified ones, and some of these city ones. It's not really an area I've been to very often, Kilburn. I mean, I have been over the years. I've been to see some bands. There's a few pubs here that host bands. I think I just walked past one just earlier on, but it's such a long time ago when I went there, I can't be certain that was the one, but it did look very familiar when I looked inside. Mentioned it on one or two of my videos. I've been recently at least using an app called Go Jauntly, which I discovered just randomly one day when I was looking for a walk in South London, in the Croydon area, and it came up with a few options, and I thought I'll give it a try. I subscribed in the end because it seemed a really good app. I'm sure there are, as I always say, they don't sponsor me or anything. I'm not doing an advert for them, and I'm sure there are other options available out there. I know I don't know of any, but I'm sure that there are. But this particular walk, a user uplifted walk, and I spotted it when I knew I had a couple of hours to spend here in North London, and it fitted the bill rather nicely. A couple of stops on the train, and I was at Kilburn High Road station, which is where this walk actually ends. So I'll be getting towards Green Park fairly soon, and I'll be interested to look around that, because as I say, I've not actually been there before. It's nice old houses down this road actually. Nice part of North London. Okay, and as if by magic, we arrive here at Queen's Park. For some reason I keep wanting to say Green Park, and if I have said Green Park on this video without myself realising it, I've got to apologise. That is a completely different park in a completely different place, and this isn't it. This is Queen's Park. Hopefully I didn't say that earlier on. There's the dog walkers here already, I can see. In 1887 this park was opened, and is well loved by the local residents in the Green Park area. You do tend to find at these city parks the squirrels are a lot less timid. Where I live there's lots of squirrels, black squirrels mostly, and they don't come close to you at all. But here I suspect they're much more used to humans, and well, you wouldn't catch one. There's a little bandstand over there. I wonder when they last had some music playing in there. Be a perfect place, wouldn't it, to have a band playing on there? Lovely area, could put some seats out and everything. I'll look that up later, but must be just freshly cut grass, which is making my eyes sting a little bit. Which is why I sound like I've got a cold. We're just getting into the hay fever season here, and I I'm one of those that needs to dose up quite considerably on the various medications. What have we got over there? Is that a bowling green? Let's go over here. Actually, it's a little pitch and putt golf course. And I think there's some tennis courts over there as well. Nobody on the golf course, but the flags are all out, so presumably it's open for business if anyone wanted to go in there. Oh, the greens. Let's have a look at the greens look like. A little bit long, probably need a bit of a cut, I'd say. In fact, they definitely need a cut. Maybe it's only open in the summer and they haven't got round, it's not prepared for wildflower meadow being prepared here. Here the express trains going from trains that come out of Euston, heading north towards Manchester and Birmingham. The main line goes very close to here. Our little grey squirrel friends. See how near I can get to him. See, he thinks I've got some food for him. Yeah, see? These squirrels get fed. We won't get any closer than that. And the park cafe there. Always nice to have a place where there's some facilities to get a drink. A cup of coffee or whatever, and some loos. And other than the bus, it looks like the nearest railway station to here, railway stations, be Willesden Green, Kensal Rise, Kensal Green and Queen's Park stations. It doesn't actually state how far away they are from the various entrances, but oh, and Brundesbury Park station as well. I think we passed that, didn't we, just walking down. Nice park. Tennis courts, table tennis courts over there as well. And the cafe looked nice as well. I'd stop and have a little snack and a drink if I haven't really got the time today. I'd have to sacrifice some of this walk. I don't know where you get your table tennis bat and ball from. Maybe you can hire them from the cafe, or of course bring your own. That isn't a problem. Also quite an extensive children's play area over there. I shan't be able to take pictures of that for obvious reasons. Looks to be plenty of younger children in there at the moment with their mums, because it's a school day today, so looks like it's one that would cater for slightly older children, school-age children as well. Alright, what a lovely park. This is certainly bigger than I expected it to be. Obviously it's nothing on the scale of Hyde Park or Regent's Park, but it's certainly, and I do like the whole vibe of that cafe. There's a few people inside. It's not a particularly warm day, but on a nice day there'll be a lot more sat outside on those tables. And for those that may need it, there are some public toilets here as well. And for those that have come without their dog, this is the Quiet Garden, which is a dog-free area. This looks nice. Let's go have a quick look in here. So it's nicely manicured. been a shortage of seats at the Willesden Old Cemetery, but there certainly isn't a shortage of seats here. One can only guess as to how busy this gets in the summer when it's a little bit warmer. Well, it's not a bad day today. A few people sat here just enjoying the peace and quiet in these gardens. Just as I was about to leave the park, I just noticed this Pets Corner in here, which is interesting because I just noticed it on the map. Surprised not to find a few young kids and their mums in here actually. Let's have a look. Turkeys, one of the prettiest of birds in the world. And a goat. Always nice to see this sort of stuff. Squirrels in there, see what they can snaffle. Sign that clearly says do not feed the animals. White duck with a limp. That's a couple of goats. 3, 4, 3. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Well. Oh, what a great surprise. I wasn't expecting to find this here in the park. Queen's Park, everybody. Nice park, it's not a huge one. It's got a cafe, got a children's playground, got a little mini pet zoo. And all free to come in as well. At least I think it is. I didn't pay anything, just walked on in. Queen's Park Farm. Was it Pork Farm when I first came in? All their names. It wasn't the fact I could hear a train going by not far away. I think I was right in the middle of the countryside here. I don't know if you can hear that. Not even dawn. Fantastic. Right, let's head on out of the park, carry on, see what else there is to see. So we'll start winding my way back towards the start, or towards the end. Kilburn High Road. Well, I'm absolutely blown away by that park. I think that's fantastic. Well kept, looks nice. No unpleasant sort of graffiti or anything like that in there, and it looks like a really safe, nice place to bring your children.
To care about what you can't afford. Memories are in what you explore. So just don't be ignored.
Just come past Joe and the Juice, Montrose Avenue. Just that's where I've just walked down from the park, and it's instantly back into a more urban type environment on the high street here. Nice looking Italian restaurant there as well. On the homeward stretch now, back towards Kilburn High Road. I think you're okay to walk down here though. That wasn't me, I promise you. It's an interesting road, Lonsdale Road this is. Interesting looking little businesses. There was some good little cafes and so on there. They were covered by hoardings, so presumably it's having some work done. It's quite smart shops and some buildings here. Carmel. It's like quite a trendy looking bar or restaurant. It's got a takeaway hatch as well by the looks of it. Well, well, well. Bubbles and Burgundy night. Interesting. Lonsdale Road, near to Green Park, Kilburn. Somewhere in Queen's Park, that's called. Good space, Queen's Park Work Club. Rent a space kind of place, I guess. Oh, well done, Go Jauntly, for this, sending me down this road, because I'll never have come down here otherwise. Well, whoever it was that posted this particular walk onto the Go Jauntly app stated that that was one of their favourite streets in the area, and I have to agree. That was nice. That was I'm probably walking down it at slightly the wrong time of day. I'm sure that that's quite buzzing in the evening times when all those cafes and bars and so on are all fully functional. Back onto quite a pleasant residential road now, and heading back towards Kilburn High Road. So I've gone in a large circle here then via the Willesden Old Cemetery, Green Park. Sorry, I've done it again, haven't I? Queen's Park, honestly. Don't go to Green Park, or do go to Green Park, it's excellent, but so is Queen's Park, which is what we've been in just now. Right, so this road essentially just leads straight back to Kilburn High Road and back to the station where I started about an hour and a half ago. There's plenty of scope in that walk to sit in the cafes or stop in the park. I've kept walking on the whole. It was a fairly short walk of 5 kilometres, 3 miles. So if you just want to get some steps in and just walk around a pleasant area, then it's a good walk to do. You can do it in a lot less than the hour and 45 minutes stated on the app. That's certainly got some time built into it for ambling around in the park and the cemetery and the cafe, etc. So there you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that walk. We're just getting back onto Kilburn High Road now. Just round this corner on the right is Kilburn High Road station, where I'll be carrying on my journey. If you've liked this, if you're still watching now, I guess you did like it. Click the like button if you like, and don't forget to press subscribe. It'll let you know when I post some other stuff. It's a mixture of things, from going to see bands to walks in the country to city walks such as this one. But here we are, back in the crazy busy world of Kilburn High Road. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye now.